Good evening. So let's give you all the big news stories this Sunday evening. Coronavirus cases are continuing to rise at a record rate. Every day it seems as if a new record is being set. The good news perhaps is that recoveries are also rising very fast. So the rate of growth of active cases is not all that high. Let's see how things actually pan out in the next week or two. But while all of this is happening, of course, everyone's attention is still on China and on an escalating political row that seems to be breaking out, especially between Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi, as the Congress party is taking a tougher and tougher stand with the government on the entire issue of what's been happening with China. So let's just quickly bring you up to date with all the big stories of the day, including the solar eclipse.
India recorded its highest single-day spike in COVID-19 cases on Sunday with 15,413 cases in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases in the country to 4.1 lakh, which included 1.6 lakh active cases. About 2.2 lakh people have been cured of the disease so far. 306 fresh deaths in the last 24 hours takes India's death toll to 13,254. The Indian Council of Medical Research has said as many as 1.9 lakh samples were tested on Saturday alone. Drug firm Glenmark Pharmaceuticals has launched antiviral drug Favipiravir under the brand name FabiFlu for the treatment of COVID-19 patients with mild to moderate symptoms. The drug will be available as a 200 mg tablet at a maximum retail price of 3,500 rupees for a strip of 34 tablets. That is about 103 rupees per piece. FabiFlu is the first approved medication in India for the treatment of COVID-19. Considering a minimum of 2 strips per patient, Glenmark will be able to provide FabiFlu for at least 82,500 patients in the first month itself. India's drug regulator on Saturday reportedly gave permission to pharma companies Hetero Labs and Cipla to manufacture and market antiviral drug Remdesivir for restricted emergency use on hospitalized COVID-19 patients. Written informed consent of each patient is required before the use of Remdesivir, and results of additional clinical trials, active post-marketing surveillance data, and reporting of serious adverse effects have to be submitted. Cipla and Hetero Labs have entered into a non-exclusive licensing agreement with US pharma giant Gilead Sciences, which is the patent holder of the drug.
Food and beverage giant PepsiCo has suspended its operations in Beijing after some of its employees tested positive for the coronavirus in the Chinese capital. The city officials are conducting COVID-19 tests on millions, especially employees of restaurants, food delivery services, and market vendors. China's National Health Commission said on Sunday that it had reported 32 new COVID-19 cases in the country. Of the domestically transmitted cases, 22 cases were detected in Beijing and 3 in neighboring Hebei province.
A significant change in the rules of engagement by the Indian Army following the Galwan Valley skirmish gives complete freedom of action to commanders deployed along the line of actual control to handle situations at the tactical level, a Hindustan Times report says, citing 2 senior army officers. The commanders will no longer be bound by restrictions on the use of firearms and will have full authority to respond to extraordinary situations using all resources at their disposal, according to the report. The amendment comes after Indian and Chinese soldiers engaged in their first deadly conflict in 45 years in Galwan Valley on the 15th of June, resulting in the death of 20 Indian Army troops. Taking a jibe at the Prime Minister, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi on Saturday said, Narendra Modi is actually Surrender Modi. Rahul shared an op-ed piece by the Japan Times which said India's appeasement policy towards China was unraveling post the LAC clash. The article said PM Modi's vision seems to have been clouded by the hope that by appeasing China, he could reset the bilateral relationship and weaken China's ties with Pakistan. Rahul's salvo comes after the centre issued a clarification over PM Modi's earlier statement during the all-party meeting, where he had said that the Chinese troops did not intrude into Indian territory.
Amid the growing clamour to boycott Chinese products, Niti Aayog member V.K. Saraswat has said that India should rethink import of Chinese raw materials for manufacturing defence equipment like bulletproof jackets and other protective gear. Speaking to the Indian Express, Saraswat said that a year ago they discouraged import of Chinese raw materials for defense manufacturing due to concerns about quality. According to the newspaper, most original equipment manufacturers, including the company that has the contract to make bulletproof jackets for the army, use Chinese raw materials. Following the clashes in Galwan, the Ministry of Defense has ordered urgent reinforcement of protective gear from the manufacturer. Before his visit to Russia, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh on Sunday held detailed discussions with Chief of Defense Staff General Bipin Rawat and all three service chiefs on the India-China border standoff in eastern Ladakh in the backdrop of the recent clash between troops of the two countries that led to the killing of 20 Indian soldiers. In the over half-hour discussion at his residence, Singh reportedly suggested to the CDS and three service chiefs to be fully prepared to take any unprecedented action as per the situation on the line of actual control. It is learned that the army has been advised by the defense minister to be very cautious during patrol duty and enhance strict vigil at the border with China. The other two forces have been asked to keep proper observation on land and sea lanes.
US President Donald Trump on Saturday said the United States is talking to both India and China to help them resolve their ongoing border tensions. Trump spoke to reporters at the White House before his first post-COVID election rally in Oklahoma. The entire Trump administration has rallied behind India against the illegitimate incursions of the Chinese army into the Indian side of the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh.
It's a very tough situation. We're talking to India. We're talking to China. They've got a big problem there. They've come to blows, and we'll see what happens. We'll try and help them out.